Radical.
Welcome to a brand new edition of Flea Market Stories. Stories from my time on my journey as a flea marketer. Let's see, I'm not sure what I'm going to title this. I'm going to do a recap of a lot of this day's events. There's not really one thing that stuck out that I can really kind of focus on. So I guess I'll go into just a little bit of what happened during this day. So I was a little bit late. But it's okay. It's all right because nowadays I've reserved tables, and I've actually reserved tables 2 weeks ahead. So that's a key thing. I don't know if any of you have this experience to where you're going to the flea market and you're having trouble trying to, get there early enough to where something's open. Hey, just go ahead and, pay ahead. If you know you're gonna be there and you're not gonna miss it, then well, it pays to just go ahead and pay ahead. And I have the same table set up for the next 2 weeks. But it's not the table I wanted. It's the table at the area where there's a hole in the wood. And the hole's there in the wood, but it's right in your walking area to where, you're like, ah, damn it, the hole. Ah, damn it, the hole. So my table I had was to the right of the hole. It was a much better area. Even had plugins to where you could demo your products. A far superior area, and some bastard got there and reserved it before I did. So there's some strategy I might have to use the next week to where maybe I might have to get there early and then leave my table earlier to be able to go there and reserve. Or maybe I can reserve at the beginning of the day, possibly. I'm not sure how it works. I'm not sure how early you can reserve. But that's key. Reserving your spot. Location is important. Location is very important. That's why I want to get the same area pretty much, every week, around the same area. Because I found that I can't fit everything in the Impala, but a lot of stuff I have at the house to sell. Today someone asked, hey, you got any Ninja Turtle stuff? And I talked about how, well, a couple weeks back, I sold some Ninja Turtle playing cards. And I just figured out that I have a good bit of Ninja Turtle trading cards. So I could package that, put it in a binder, and say, hey, I got you a lot of Ninja Turtle stuff. Personalize, personalize for certain customers. That's the going the extra step. Like the day started out, the first sale I had was a guy that kept his word. Last week he said, hey, you know what? I like these gaming magazines. He got Metal Gear Solid from me, Resident Evil strategy guides, and he said, bring some gaming magazines next week and I'll be here. Well, sometimes I'm like, yeah, people say they're going to be there. But no, he was right there at 9 o'clock. He was waiting right on me. And I said, hey, I got something for you. And I had about 6 or 7 or 8 gaming magazines. I was in a rush, so I didn't have time to get them all. And he got 5 of them. He got 5 of the gaming magazines. So he's going to be a repeat customer. So then I think to myself, since he's going to be here every weekend, am I going to bring everything at once? Or am I going to have like a slow trickle, knowing that there's a finite amount of what I have? Because I'm not out here going around, buying a lot of things. Primarily, I'm flea marketing to get rid of a lot of stuff that I have right now. So, there's a whole lot of strategy here, whole lot of strategy, right? But it's very key. Your location is key. There was another guy that bought, I think, a couple trading cards from me. Might have been trading cards, or I can't remember if he got anything or not. But he talked about the kind of things that he wanted, the things he liked. He wants some Spider-Man comics. Well, I promised somebody else that they would buy the last of my Spider-Man comics. So then maybe I'll make a transition, maybe make a package of Spider-Man comic cards. Again, personalizing for people. So he asked, are you always at this location? It's very important, the location. Because there's a lot of sales you might miss out on if somebody's all around the flea market looking for you and, they have limited time and they can't find you. So I'm going to try to get the same spot pretty much all the time. Let's see what else. There was a guy, older fella, 70-year-old fella. He was to the table to the right of me. I'd never seen him before. He says he sells different places, different areas, but he had like a lot of fishing rods, and he was just swinging his water, swinging his rods around. He's swinging his rod around. I don't know why that's so funny to me. Just this old man, there at a table swinging his rod around. And literally, he was just like swinging the rod. He was dinging a bell a little bit to get attention to his table. And he did make some sales. He had a lot of fishing stuff. Now, I mean, it wasn't like a rod he had. It was something else that he was swinging. I don't fish. I don't know what the hell it was. But one time he was talking to me and he kept doing it and he got a little bit close to the Impala. So I kind of like, stood in front of the Impala because the Impala is right behind my table, giving him a look like, hey, don't get anywhere near my damn Impala, okay? Put a scratch on my Impala. Like, he might be in his 70s, but I might help him along to the end. You know what I'm saying? That's a little harsh, but still. I mean, no, I don't want no scratches on the hood of my Impala just because this old man wants to swing his rod around. And there's another lesson I learned, which is if you can avoid it at all, if possible, do not start conversations with the people at the tables near you if they're very old people or they look like they're talkers. This guy was a talker, and sometimes when you turn your head around and you look down on your phone, that's the universal signal, like, okay, dude, I don't want to hear anything else. But no, he's showing me about some like hot rods he's working on his phone, and yeah. Very interesting situation. Very, very fun situation was there was a reasonably attractive female that set up to the left of me selling some stuff. And she had a husband with her, but the husband was, gone for a little bit. And, I said, hey, how you doing? How the sales going? She walks over, she introduces herself to me and holds her hand out to give me a handshake. And she suddenly gets close to me and smiles real big when she gives me a handshake. And I'm like, okay, here we go again. Here we go again. I'm thinking, yeah, this is why I'm probably not going to get married. This is probably why I never really want to get married, Not saying that she was, trying to try anything. No, maybe she just would like to talk to me and likes the attention of an attractive male. Possibly that's all it is. I didn't get a good look at her husband, but I don't know if he was an attractive male or not. I don't know what you really define as an attractive male, But, yeah, so she's talking to me about it being her first time there, flea marketing. I said, well, if you have any questions, like I'm a pro or whatnot, even though I started just a couple months ago. Some people are just starting and they might have some questions. And I was like, well, if you have any questions about how things work here, just let me know. And hours will go by. And I didn't have a ton of sales this day, but I set up a lot of sales for the future. Again, personalizing things. I have written down a lot of things. This one guy asked me, hey, you have any more Atlanta Braves baseball cards? And I'm writing down, I'm taking notes. Taking notes, very important. Have your notepad down. Taking notes. Personalize it, be like, okay, what's your name? I'm taking some notes. I'll see what I got. So this female, she had a very nice set. Front rear. She had a very nice rear, and she was bending over quite a bit. She was wearing sweatpants, and I just was like, this is pleasant. To the right of me, there's this annoying old man swinging his rod around, and to the left of me, there's this very pleasant view. And I was like, this is a nice perk. And speaking of perk, she had very, very, very nice gazongas. I call them gazongas because, I think they classified as gazongas. They were like right big enough to where they're like, okay, those are some D cups. Those are gazongas. Just very nice, right? Very pleasant. I enjoy talking to her. But, think about talking to a female that is married, fellas, is, you don't want to talk to them like a lot. You want to keep it pleasant. Because they'll try to draw in attention from you. They might be thirsty for attention, but you got to understand that, they are married females, so you have to respect that. But don't mean you can't just, check them out. And that helped the day go by a little bit. What else? I sold Fallout 4, and there was a female with her dad, and she got Fallout 4, and it said that Fallout. This is the Xbox One disc. It said Fallout 3 was included on the Fallout 4 disc. Said it was included, and I looked through. Sometimes there's a download code. I had put it in and installed it, but I didn't use it. Hopefully, it's on the disc. So maybe someone can leave me in the comment section down below if the Xbox One Fallout 4 game has Fallout 3 actually included on the disc. That would be very helpful if you know that and can give me that information, anybody, because I made a promise that I would look through and see if I had an extra Fallout 3 Xbox 360 game, you know, because she said, I really like this, but I really want the Fallout 3. I like that more than 4. And I said, a lot of people like Fallout 3 more than 4. And so I gave her a discount, $2 off, which I sell my Xbox games around $10. But I used it as an excuse and said, okay, because I don't know if it has Fallout 3 on it, I'll give it to you for $10. And if I have an extra disc of Xbox 360, come back around and then I'll give you that. Again, I'm making people happy. I'm not being greedy. I'm being very friendly. And I think in the long run, that will pay off. And let's see. One more thing. Guy came by. Okay, two things about the boots. A guy came by and he looked at some shoes and he said, oh, I see you have some more shoes. So he kind of picks it up that, okay, I have multiple copies of multiples of the shoes. Shoot. I'm like Radical Reggie with his like 15 copies of, rare import Japanese video games. Like I got all these shoes, but they're shoes that I used to wear. And I explained to him that he had bought some shoes from me and I didn't know that maybe he's wearing them. He said he was going to get them for work and whatnot. But he lets me know that like he has a table there. So I'm thinking like, oh, okay, maybe he was buying them for the purpose of reselling it, which is, no problem whatsoever. And this other fellow actually got the shoes because they were a little beat up. I was like, what the hell? I'm letting this other guy have them for $5 with 5 plain t-shirts. They weren't undershirts for $10. And that guy was incredibly happy. And I find joy and happiness in making people happy. So gave that guy a firm handshake. And, I have all these people. I'm playing the long game. I'm getting a great person. I'm getting a great reputation there. And like some of you said, just stick with it. And eventually, I really don't even know really what the goal is. To become one of the best flea marketers in the world. I just enjoy the experience. And I'm enjoying actually uploading this, sharing that experience with all of you. So yeah, leave your thoughts on any of this in the comment section down below. And if any of you like to flea market, leave me some of your flea market stories, huh?